This $150 dynamic USB microphone borrows some DNA from the legendary Shure SM7B, but it also has some really cool tricks up its sleeve. Now, don't let the term gaming deter you. This microphone is packed with some really cool features, and unlike other gaming microphones, it doesn't look like a freaking Christmas tree. Okay, so what makes this microphone so special? Well, we all know and love the SM7B. Everyone uses one, every podcaster, every streamer, every gamer, they all have it at their setup. And then Shure created a cheaper option. They were like, hey, that's a $500 microphone. Here's a cheaper one. It's the MV7. And then they made the MV7 Plus, which was USB-C, has some additional features. We'll cover that in another video. And then they went one step further. They're like, hey, you still want a cheaper microphone. So they made the MV6. This is sort of what I'm guessing where the lineage of this microphone comes from. But what's really cool about this is it's only $150, which to some may sound like a lot. In the world of professional audio products, that's a really, really good price. Now, $150 isn't the cheapest USB microphone out there. There are a lot around the $70 to $90 price point that are pretty good. In my experience, this exceeds them for sound quality, for usability. The app, which we're gonna cover in a second, it's just no question. This is just a much better option in my opinion. Okay, before we dive into the app, let's quickly talk about some of the really good stuff. So when you take it out of the box, this microphone is heavy. It's all metal build. It's actually really small comparatively. If I hold this up to this one, you can kind of see it's significantly smaller. The ports feel outstanding. There is a plastic mesh on the front of this, which is kind of cool, but this is gonna look nice and pro in any of your work calls. And that's why I say it's actually great for content producers too, because it's not this bright, invasive, flashing LED, RGB, gaming microphone. It just looks clean and sleek, and I really like that. Now, this is the MOTIV Mix app, and it is in beta, as you'll see down here, but you can basically pick any of your sources, drop them into the sources here. I don't need that one, but just to demonstrate. And then you can control your different outputs, which is really awesome. And also, sorry that I'm still stuffed up. I said in my last video that I was really stuffed up, and this one I am too. Have kids, they said. I'll show you how I have this microphone set up and how I would recommend you set it up as well. So off the top, we have our mute, and we have our unmute, and you can lock these features as well, which is really great. There is this auto level function here, and I'm gonna show you why this can be a bit of an issue. So let's say I turn this on, and let's say there's a section where maybe I'm just typing a note to my editor, or like something's happening in chat and I just wanna talk to chat for a minute. So I'm just typing, and we're over here just talking off microphone for a second. Check. You can hear how it's bringing up all of the sound right now, all of the noise, my keyboard. You come back to your stream and it's gonna be super, super loud. So I don't love the auto gain for that reason. Personally, I would just leave this off and just set the gain to an appropriate level. You're probably gonna get better results that way. There is a monitor mix, so I can bring my mic level down and my playback level down, which is anything like gameplay or anything like that, if I'm plugging in to the microphone. This is important to note because right now I have my monitor device set up as my audio interface. This is doing nothing in my headphones. It did though once I unplugged there and plugged into the microphone. So if you're plugging your headphones into your sound card, that's not going to function the way that it looks. That's only if you're plugging into the microphone. So just something to take note of. Next up, we have this tone setting. So you've been listening to 10% dark this whole time. If I bring it right down to 100% dark, you can hear it's noticeably darker. Now, one thing in the advertisement for this microphone is that they say that it's a little bit brighter than the MV7, as well as the SM7B. It's probably a lot brighter than the SM7B because that's quite a dark mic. The reason they made it a little bit brighter was that they want you to be able to pop out on top of your gaming a little bit better. So your voice is always going to just pop out just a tiny bit more. It's just a little subtle brush stroke to make it so you stand out above what you're playing. But let's bring us back up to neutral. Check. You can hear it's a little bit more balanced now. And if we go over to bright, that's significantly bright. I have a little bit of a bright voice, like a lot of S's, sibilants. Yeah, you can hear those sibilants there. So 10, 20% dark, I'll leave it around there. I think that sounds pretty nice for my voice. Next up, we have a Realtime Denoiser. Really awesome. Check this out. Background sound is gone. Take a listen to that. That is actually really good. And what's nice about this is that I don't hear it clicking on and turning off between my lines. Check. Hey, testing 1, 2, 3. They're really good with making this subtle. So it's affecting all of the background sounds, but it's not too aggressive. Let me turn this off so you can hear the difference again. Hear all that noise? Turn that back on. That's pretty cool. I'm actually not hearing a lot of artifacts in the sound either. And that's really nice because sometimes automatic noise reduction or rejection can sometimes have some artifacts in the sound, and I'm not really hearing anything. Check. Hey, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's a pretty natural sounding denoiser. Really, really, really impressed with that. I'm gonna turn it off for now just so you get kind of a clear idea of how this microphone sounds. Next up, we have the popper stopper. Popper stopper. So to hear this better, I'm gonna turn off the high pass filter, which I have on right now at 75 Hertz, just rolling off some of that really low end, but let's turn that off. There, now you can hear some of that really subby low end. I'm actually gonna take this right off to demonstrate this. Do you hear that difference? So it's doing a pretty good job at getting rid of those plosives. I'm also going to put the high pass filter to 75 Hertz, which doesn't seem to roll off any of my low end. Hey. It does a little bit, but it's not as bad as like 150. Here, there, it starts to sound a bit thin. We'll go back to 75. Check. To me, I would put this on the Realtime Denoiser and call that a day. I think this sounds awesome. No noise. Exceptional. And then you can actually record directly into this app, which is pretty cool. Also, because this is USB-C, you can plug directly into an iPad or into your phone and record right into voice notes if you want to. It's a pretty cool option. Okay, in all of my videos, I try to find some things that are, let's call them like the bad things. Like I'm really, really struggling to find something bad about this microphone, but to me, I feel like it's kind of my duty to you as the viewer to find some things that are like, could have they designed this differently? Or like, is this going to work for everybody? Or is this something that I should point out? So let's go through. I have a couple of these listed out here. I'm just going to talk through them. So first off, this is 15 Hertz to 15K. This is pretty standard for like a dynamic microphone, especially for a USB dynamic microphone. It's not the full frequency range. So if you're looking to do music recording, guitar, you want to record some singing, this might not be my top pick. And like, I'll just say it's not my top pick for that. If you want to do music recording, don't get a USB microphone. I think that's kind of my main takeaway. It does come with some really nice quality accessories. It comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable, although this is quite short. It's only, I want to say about 2.5 feet, maybe 3 feet. You'll probably need a longer one. And it comes with a really, really nice heavy duty metal desk stand. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know I don't typically like these desk stands. So I would recommend getting a desk boom arm. And this brings me to one of the actual downsides of this microphone is that the handling noise, just grazing it here. And where this really shines, or I guess, what's the opposite of shines? Dulls. Where this really dulls is if you're typing, here, I'll make sure my keyboard is off. Do you hear that noise? Now, what's interesting about this, let's take a listen to that noise again. And if I put on the Realtime Denoiser, it doesn't really help. And you might be wondering, well, why isn't that helping? Why am I still hearing that noise? It's actually because it's coming through with sympathetic vibrations down the microphone. So the microphone is not picking up the keyboard as much anymore. If I lift it off the ground, you can also hear how much isolation there is. Sympathetic vibrations is a bit of an issue for this. A quick fix would be to get a microphone stand that goes right down to the floor. That's not going to be ideal. A lot of us want to clip our mic stand to our desk, but is what it is. Just know if you're typing, if you're gaming even, like that feels like a bit of an oversight maybe. I don't think that that's a deal breaker for me based on how good this microphone sounds, but it is something that I just want to make sure you're aware of. Okay, just for transparency, I'm turning off the Realtime Denoiser again. So this is back to default. It does have a capacitive touch mute button, which I don't love because if you are grabbing the microphone and trying to... I just muted the microphone with my palm. Yeah, you take these old meat fingers and rub them. Okay, so who is this microphone actually for? Well, I would say streamers who want professional sounding quality audio. Also for gamers who are really tired of the gamer aesthetic with all the bright RGB. I think that this is just so refreshing to see a reputable company create a product that looks really nice and sleek. I love that. Probably wouldn't be my first choice for podcasting for long form. I think that there may be better options. For long form, I'd probably end up going with an XLR and USB microphone, but it's hard to beat this price too. So that's a toss-up, but I would say definitely streaming, gaming, YouTube voiceovers, this will be perfect. My final takeaway is that this is a really sweet spot between pro audio and plug and play easy use. Now, I always say, don't get microphones from computer peripheral companies. So if I'm looking for a USB microphone, I don't want to look to Logitech or Razer or even Elgato, although they make some pretty good stuff. This is coming from Shure. Shure puts on their box 100-year history of making microphones. That means a lot when they have quality products and then they step down into consumer products. It's a much better experience than a consumer product trying to create pro quality audio. I find the audio companies are better at jumping down. than the peripheral companies are at jumping up, if that makes any sense. I think at the end of the day, this just isn't another gaming microphone. This is really a content producer microphone that happens to be really good for gaming.